Hey there, this is Michael, and I just wanted to kind of show my painting setup to paint my miniatures. Now, I'm by no means a professional. I'm still an amateur, but I do this because it really does give me a lot of peace and quiet and just a moment of time where I can just collect my thoughts and just peace out, that moment of zen, I guess you could call it, or whatever. But this is my setup. I got a nice painting mat here to protect my desk from any spills that might occur, because I do tend to be a little clumsy at times. I've spilt some ink washes a few times and didn't really enjoy that because I had to replace them. But I have all my paints set up, and they're by type. This is the full line of Citadel paints, which I do really enjoy, the full line of Citadel paints, and I'll tell you in a minute why I use Citadel. But I got my ink washes up there. I got my edge paints. I got my base paints, dry paints, my layer paints. I got my technical paints over here. Back here I have some water in dropper bottles. I got some Lahmian medium. Yeah, okay. I got some Lahmian medium to help thin some paints. I got a little Ard Coat varnish there as well, and I put those into dropper bottles to make them easier to dispense. But the reason I use Citadel paints is this wonderful app by Citadel that really makes it so easy, because if I do paint by color, I can pick my color. Let's say I want to do something in pink, and then it tells me all these different kinds of pinks. So let's say I want to do some internal organs just for ha-has. If I'm going to do it as a layer paint, it tells me what I need to use as base coat, shade, edge highlights, exact colors. So it makes it very easy for me to get the effect that I'm looking for, and they'll even show you what the effect looks like. This is if I use a layering technique, and then they even have a dry brushing technique as well, showing your base coat, your shades, and your dry brush, and showing you what it looks like. So the Citadel line is really what I'm using because of this app. It really sold me on Citadel. Don't really like the paint pots too much. I'd rather they were in dropper bottles. But as far as the ease of use with this app, it just really makes it the choice. And I found that I really like the quality of my work after using Citadel compared to other paints as well. So here's just an example of one that I did with Citadel paints, and it came out really, really nice. I was very happy and pleased with that. So in addition to all my paint setups, I have all of my brushes over here, and then I do have, for water, I have 2 water pots. Basically they're glasses, and those water pots are plain water that I use to rinse off my brushes. And then after I'm done, here's my palette. So I've got my paint on my brush, and I start painting my miniature. When I'm ready to rinse off, I just rinse off in the water here. And then I have this sponge curled up inside another water pot filled with water, and it's wet. So I can just scrape my brush right along the sponge, and it cleans off the brush and makes it a lot cleaner to use for my next color, or the next time I use that brush. So that's also part of my setup here as well. Now I also have my miniature that I'm working on, and this one's already primed and ready to paint, and I put it on top of one of these baby food jars with using a little ticky tack. This allows me to maneuver the miniature while I'm painting without having to touch the miniature, especially when it's wet. And it just makes it a lot easier to reach those places that need reaching, because I can manipulate the miniature while I'm painting it. And then, of course, I wouldn't be complete without my Diet Coke. And you observe that my Diet Coke is in a can. I would never, ever be sitting here painting, putting anything that I'm going to drink in a glass, because I'll be sitting here painting, and I'll be, painting away and just enjoying the moment, and I'm just totally lost in what I'm doing. And then I would reach over and grab, yeah, the paint, the water that has all the paint in it. So the can helps me recognize that that is in fact my beverage, so I'm not drinking the paint. I also have paper towels here that I can wipe off on, so if I'm doing any dry brushing or cleaning off, I can do that right on my paper towels. And I have this, when I'm done, I use this as well to spray paint some matte varnish, which I have right here in the drawer. So I got some matte finish that I use to finish off my model when I'm done. I also have some matte fluid medium that I can use to thin the paints out as well. And of course, because my eyesight is absolutely horrible and that I just cannot see such small detail, people say, how did you get such great detail? Well, it was thanks to this right here. I bought this off of Amazon. It wasn't that expensive, and it magnifies the miniature while I'm working, and it even has a nice little light that I can turn on to help me get a better view of what it is that I'm doing. So that's my setup. That's how I arrange my painting. Again, I also have some brush cleaner here that I can use to clean off my brushes when I'm done as well. And you can see some of my finished work is right there. Some pieces that I'm still working on right down here at the bottom. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of miniatures to paint, but I am having a blast just painting, and it really helps me to relax and just kind of at the end of a day when you're just all burnt out from work and the stress that you're dealing with, this is just a wonderful way to relax and produce something that you can be proud of. So I'm getting better. I'm certainly not anywhere near, producing showpieces, but I'm getting better, and this is my setup. So I hope you enjoyed seeing it, and I will talk to you some other time maybe. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.